Congratulations, you have officially unlocked another atheist video. Remember, you don't have to subscribe to watch my videos regularly. It is against the identity of an atheist to subscribe to a theist. So therefore, you have to go the back doorway, type in atheist, sort by new. You cannot subscribe. Now, granted, there are officially two atheist subscribers now. They said, hey, Nick, I'm an atheist, I subscribe, smiley face. And they're watching my videos, and you're honored guest here, by the way. But I recognize that most atheists regularly watching my videos are never going to subscribe because it's already an attack of their identity. Identity protective cognition teaches them they cannot subscribe to a Christian just by default, right? Because by being a theist, by default, I am ignorant, immoral, and wrong to so many atheists. But I think I'm constantly searching for emotionally intelligent people. And so when we can realize, hey, you know what? We don't agree about Christianity, but what can we agree? What can we understand better? And I think understanding our own cultures is a big part of that, because I absolutely believe that atheists have a general culture, whether they recognize it or want to believe it or not. As an outsider, I'm able to see that. And ultimately, that's what these videos are about, these atheist videos. They're understanding the culture of atheist from the perspective of a theist. And I think by default, I'm teaching atheists about their own culture, which they can't see. With that being said, that 90-second intro there, here's something I cannot help but observe based on the many comments I've been receiving. Here's what I perceive it as a paradox. Here we go. Atheists do not want a Christian to impose their beliefs on them. I accept that. And that's a big, important part of my channel. The whole concept of making these videos for atheists is to not impose my Christian beliefs on you. It's to not try to convert you to Christianity. Because I think there's more respect that would go on in this relationship if I purposely do not try to. If I can have conversations with you about my perspectives and not try to convert you, I think you'll respect me more. Because otherwise, if I'm trying to convert you, it seems like I'm just trying to prove you wrong. You cannot gain a person's respect by proving them wrong. But I think you can gain the respect by having an emotionally intelligent conversation where you try to understand them better and they're trying to understand you better without debating. So that's what I believe. You know, one of the people who regularly watches my videos, his screen name basically, it's Deacon Verder, like the first name Deacon, or a deacon in a church, Deacon Verder. His whole purpose is to deconvert Christians or theists. And for me, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to convert atheists. That's a very big. So have I been clear enough in 3 minutes now? Is my goal not to try to debate with or even convert atheists? So for me, no, I'm not trying to impose my Christian beliefs on atheists. But what I have found is that atheists are bothered when I will not defend my beliefs. To me, that's a paradox. They're saying on one hand, Nick, don't impose your Christian beliefs on me. And then on the other hand, they're like, but debate me. I want you to prove that God is real. Go ahead and prove it. Can you prove it? I'm like, hi, I don't care. Thanks. Like, that's my response. Do you see let's just really unpack this. Nick, don't impose your Christian beliefs on me. Come on, Nick, debate me. Prove that God is real. Come on, Nick. So they get frustrated that I won't defend myself, that I won't defend my beliefs. To me, that's an obvious paradox. Because if I'm defending my beliefs and arguing or debating with you that God is real or not, that's imposing my Christian beliefs on you, which is what you don't want. So which is it? Do you not want me to impose my beliefs, but you want me to debate you? I don't see how I can debate or argue the existence of God without imposing my beliefs. So to me, that seems like a paradox. It seems like a mixed signal that I'm receiving from atheists, who I would say the atheists who watch my channel who have what I call high conflict personality. I want to be very clear. I recognize there's a lot of you who are emotionally intelligent and don't have that high conflict personality and aren't involved in these conversations in an attempt to confirm your beliefs or not. Remember, this channel is not about me asking people on the internet to confirm my own beliefs. And I think the atheists that do best on this channel, enjoy this channel the most, are the ones who are confident in their atheist beliefs. Oops, I used the word belief. Remember, I'm still trying to find out what I'm supposed to say if I'm not supposed to say belief, because atheists believe that belief is a toxic word. So I'm trying. That's me trying to understand the culture of atheists better. But let's just unpack that. It seems like a double standard. It seems like a paradox. Don't impose your Christian beliefs on me, but debate me. And if you don't debate me, then you're just like all the other Christians I know. They won't give me a firm answer. They won't give me a straight answer. They're not willing to defend their beliefs because they know that God isn't real to begin with. They can't prove it. It's all a lie. They're in a dark room sitting in a chair. They refuse to get up from the chair, turn on the light, and leave. So those are two strong messages that I receive from what I'm perceiving as high conflict atheists who ultimately need confirmations of their own perspective. So what's going to be interesting is anyone willing to agree with me? Especially if you're not a Christian, especially if you're not a theist. Is there any atheist that would agree that ultimately within the culture of atheism, which does exist, there is a collective culture similarities that atheists have, just like atheists don't want me to use the word believe or belief or faith, especially not that, in conjunction to their perspective. So how does a guy like me win in this? Well, the way I win is I keep having these conversations about our cultures and understanding this better without debating. And to me, that's what makes these videos engaging and successful ultimately, that keeps people coming back. I believe that if I were to start trying to convert Christianity, if I were to try to convert atheists to Christianity, I think that it would not be good for these videos. Maybe they'd even get more views and more hates, more thumbs down and all that stuff, but that's not the direction I want to go in. And at the same time, if I was trying to defend my beliefs all the time, so there's one where I'm trying to convince you against what you believe, which you have identity protective cognition against, but the other would be defending my beliefs, which is still, in my opinion, still kind of imposing my beliefs. But if I were doing that, these wouldn't be interesting videos. You've already seen those videos. That would be as boring as a Republican and a Democrat debating. It would be as boring as someone who is completely against abortion debating with someone who is completely for it no matter what. Those are boring conversations. Those are debates that go nowhere, because in the end, no one's going to change their mind. Still, half the population is going to be on one side and half on the other. And yes, I do purposely film in this room any chance I get, because I like the symmetry, the feng shui, the balance of the two sides, always sorting it out. And it's not just my atheist videos, it's a lot of things. It's about, one of my beliefs in atheists, I think that you can appreciate this. It's always about, what do we have in common? What can we agree on? I think something we can agree on, me as a Christian, you as an atheist, I think something we can agree on is, I do not believe that there are good and bad people. I think that's something our culture teaches. If you're a good person, you go to heaven. You're a bad person, you go to hell, or whatever it is. Comic book movies often teach this too. Well, here's the good guys and here's the bad guys. But in reality, I don't see it that way at all. I think some of my favorite movies and TV shows are the ones where it's morally ambiguous. One of my favorite movies, has anybody seen it? Robin Williams, 2002, 1 Hour Photo. One of my favorite movies. I own it on DVD. I just watched it again this week. I love that movie. Morally ambiguous. Breaking Bad, easily one of the best shows ever made, if not the best. The whole concept is moral ambiguity. I've seen every episode of Lost at least twice. I love Lost. I even defend the finale. But part of what made that show great is, even the characters you love the most are clearly flawed in more ways than one, and especially morally. They didn't always do the right thing. And I can appreciate and embrace that. I do not believe that there are good people and bad people. I believe that there are people, and we make decisions that ultimately help other people or hurt other people, that help ourselves in a good way or hurt ourselves in a bad way. I believe that if we truly love our neighbor as ourselves, then ultimately we don't need good or bad people, because we are making, but the fact that we have to be told that, to me, reinforces the concept of sin nature, that we were already born sinners, already born imperfect. And by the way, for me as a Christian, I do not believe in segregating all the different types of sins and say, well, that person's worse than this person, this person. No, we're all born sinners is what I believe. There are not good people. There are not bad people. There are people. And we have a decision to make on how we treat each other, which is, again, why emotional intelligence is so important to me in this channel. Why a debate is against the rules. If you try to debate about God or insult another person, I will not engage with that. That will lead us nowhere. And ultimately, all you'd get out of me, if anything, hi, I don't care, thanks. Because to me, that's not intelligent. That's not helping our relationship grow. And yes, I use the word relationship. I think it's important to bridge the gap. I think if a Christian's going to engage atheists in conversation, it's not about magnifying what we don't agree on. It's about magnifying what we do agree on. Because in real life, is that really how? Imagine if you're like, hey, I'm only going to hang out with and get to know people that I agree with. No. In real life, I have many friends who are not Christians, who are of other faiths, and I love them. And I do not debate with them, and I do not argue with them. We have conversations about our values and that sort of thing. But it's funny because I think culturally, especially in the United States, what happens is if you don't morally agree with someone, then often, well, I need to exclude them. I need to pass a law where they can't have rights. And specifically, yeah, I am saying, like, with gay rights. I am 100% in favor of gay rights. I don't morally agree with homosexuality. But when it comes to gay rights, I want gay people to have just as many rights as everybody else. That's very important to me. We should not take away people's rights just because we morally disagree with them. And I don't think we should be perceived as bigots because we morally disagree with someone. For example, forget about gay people. Talk about different religions. Okay? Talk about Islam. A lot of my viewers are Muslim, and I appreciate you all being here. While we have a lot that we definitely agree on, our religions match up very much similarly, we could say by default we morally disagree with each other because my understanding is in Islam you do not believe in sin nature, that we're all born sinners and need to be saved through Christ. So by that, by default, we morally disagree with each other. But I'm not in favor of discriminating against Muslim people or atheists or gay people. We should all have rights and be appreciated and be treated the same. Otherwise, we end up in this mindset where, well, the only people who can have rights are the ones that we morally agree with. If you're like me, then you have full rights. No, that's ridiculous. But it's also ridiculous to say that if you don't agree with someone, that makes you a bigot. Just like, am I a bigot for not agreeing with Muslim values and morals and perspectives? Am I a bigot against Muslims? No. Am I a bigot against the gay community? That's for the gay community to decide. But I've already made it very clear. I believe there's no paradox in morally disagreeing with something, but also saying, but you shouldn't be discriminated against. I think that's a very simple, basic concept. But by default, humans get in this thing of, I disagree with them, therefore they're the enemy, the perceived enemy. And that's just ridiculous. To perceive someone as the enemy. And if you do that, well, now I've got to try to prove them wrong. There you go. There's a lot to unpack there. I'm glad you're here. Your comments may lead to other videos.